Hi guys, Dave Pinson here, Bolt family. Let's bolt up, baby. Today I want to talk about Charger Heart. What a great game that was, huh? My Lanta, as my sister used to say. What a great game. You know, I'm going to talk about my favorite all-time Charger coach is Marty Schottenheimer. And I'm actually going to drop another video this week in a couple of days about Charger coaches because that's a whole separate. I just want to talk about Charger coaches. They're pretty awesome. So here's the deal. We've never won a Super Bowl. That doesn't mean we don't have heart. It doesn't mean we don't have great players. It doesn't mean we don't have great times, right? Because here's the deal. I disagree with the modern sports fan. It's all about championships, and it's good to win championships. Trust me. I hate the Dodgers. Anyway, you might love them. That's fine. But it's good to win championships, right? And that is the point of. That's why you play. You play to be the best you can be and to win, right? That's why. But you know what's also good is to just fight, give it your best, leave it all on the table, brother. Give it your thing. And so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what Marty Schottenheimer used to call Charger Heart. Now, Marty Schottenheimer is my favorite Charger coach. He had 14-2 one year. He had a great record, and he had trouble in the playoffs, whatever. But man, that guy had a heart. And he used to. There's two things I remember him saying. He used to do this thing called the glean, and that'll be in the coach video. But he used to say, "Get the glean, gentlemen," and the guys used to say of the team, "We don't know what the heck he's talking about." Well, it sure fires us up. And he used to say, "You gotta have that Charger heart." What is the Charger heart? Never give up, never stop. Doesn't matter what the odds are. It doesn't it doesn't matter if your arm falls off. I got another arm. Tape it up, man. We're good. It's that thing I call the Charger heart. Why? Because here's the deal. The Chargers have the worst offensive line in the NFL. They actually showed a thing up on the screen during the game, and it was like four of their five linemen rank either last or next to last in what they call the PFF football rankings as far as how well they block and everything. 4 out of 5 is the worst in the league. Of course, we're on our fifth string guys over there and pulling guys out of nowhere that can do something, right? And they gave up 5 sacks in that game, right? But they found a way to win. They found a way to win. They found a way to overcome. They didn't give up. They were fighting. They did this. They did that. The game starts off really, really slow and really hard, and you're like, "This is going to be tough. This is going to be." I think my prediction was 19-16 Chargers. I said this is going to be a battle. We're going to get 5 field goals and maybe one touchdown, maybe 3 field goals. And it was 3-0. They get a field goal, and then we get that sack, and that seemed like that kind of turned the page. Khalil Mack, and let me tell you something about Aaron Rodgers. He needs to retire now. Aaron Rodgers was a great quarterback in his day. He did. I mean, those Hail Mary passes. Give me a break, man. And he was MVP, man. He was amazing, right? But lately, like when he doesn't play so well, when he was with the Jets, I started not to like Aaron Rodgers. Why? Because he talks smack about us. When things didn't go right, he blamed Mike Williams. He blames all these people, And no, you don't do that, even if it's true. Justin Herbert would never say, "Well, the guy ran the wrong route, so that wasn't my fault." He would never say that, even if it's true. Why? Because it's called the heart of the team, and I think Aaron's lacking that. And I think now that he's getting older, he's missing some of those passes, and he was rattled. And I think he doesn't want to get hit because he's getting old. Even Tom Brady is last year. You watch, he starts doing stuff like that. He starts throwing the ball away, and I don't want to get hit. I'm too old, man. This hurts. And I think that might have been the beginning of his retirement. It's kind of funny because I remember a story. Somebody tells this story, and I can't remember the guy's name. I'm not going to go look it up. But there was a guy that retired at halftime because the Chargers beat the snot out of him. It wasn't a quarterback. I don't remember who it was, and he just says, "I'm not doing this anymore." And that's the team. And unfortunately, football is not like my Christian life. Football is like I have what I call football. Like I hate the Raiders, right? But I don't really hate them as a person, a human being. That's fine. But when it comes to sports, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. You just want to destroy people, right? And we did, man. Our defense was, and they couldn't do it. They only have one receiver, and to be honest with you, Rodgers missed two really important. But he missed them, and that would have changed the whole. But anyway, it is what it is, and our defense is pretty darn good, right? And here's the thing they say about our defense, for example. We only have a couple guys on there that are name brands, right? We do. We have guys the Chargers know, like Deion Henley, but most people in the NFL, they don't know who Deion Henley is, right? And we have some pretty good DBs. But we only have like Derwin James and Khalil Mack maybe Thule should be in there. But as far as the nationwide, that's it. We're not a bunch of superstars like Denver Broncos have all these famous people, but you know what we have? We have heart. We play hard. We have guys in there that seventh round draft picks, guys that weren't even drafted, and they're out there doing interceptions and just playing their heart out, right? And our O line, okay. Here's the thing: they could run block okay, right? Even though they can't pass block very well. And you know what? Justin, man, he gets knocked down. He gets his leg. That guy kicked him, bro. That guy kicked him. Brothers and sisters, Charger fans. That one play they show the slow mo, and for some reason, Chris Collinsworth and those guys. I don't know what's up with the NFL refs, and nobody calls. Now, if that was Patrick Mahomes, that guy would have been thrown out of the game. But no one ever calls it against Justin Herbert. He doesn't get any respect from the anyway. That one time when they took him down and he said he got rolled up on. You watch the play in slow motion. The guy kicked. The guy put his knee in there on his. Come on, man. But Justin just gets up and plays and plays better. Philip Rivers used to be like that. Dan Fouts used to be like that. These guys have heart, man. You knock me down, go ahead. I don't care. Philip Rivers had a terrible O line at the end of his career. He didn't care. He was a school. Let's get rid of the ball faster, right? In the beginning of the game, the offense they dropped a few passes to him. Then they just click click click. Thank you, Lad McConkey. Right, here we go. And same thing, Kamani Vidal. He's a good player. He's not great, but he's good. He's good enough for now. And guess what? Our running back, Martin Hampton, he's coming back after the bye. So what's the story with the Chargers right now? Here's the story with the Chargers right now. Oh, and also one more thing on the O line before we talk about what's coming up. So the O line is going to get better. Why? Because that guy we picked up, he's not a very good pass blocker, but he's a really good run blocker, and he's a big man. He was like one of the top draft picks, and he's been sort of a bust. But how does that work with the Chargers? How many guys are on the Charger teams that didn't make it on other teams? They come to the Charger all of a sudden like Tier Tart. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy came out of nowhere. Bobby Hart didn't play football for 3 years. Now he's one of our best blockers. He's coming back. He's going to be a tackle, right? Right. And this other kid, he might be a tackle. What's his name? Penning or something. This guy we picked up on a trade. He's going to be decent, right? So if we can just be decent, just a little bit, then we and here's where we are. Here's where we are moving forward. Here's where we are, Charger fans. We're still one game behind the Broncos, who shouldn't have beat them. They shouldn't have won the last couple of games. Bo Nix, he doesn't look that good anymore. If you've been watching the Bronco games like I have, well, you've seen they have a really good defense, they have a really good offensive line, and Bo Nix is not that great. He's okay. He's one of those guys comes out flash in the pan. A couple years later, he's on the bench. Carson Wentz. He's Carson Wentz Jr. You know, I'm just telling you, man. He's been missing a lot of plays, throwing the interceptions. He's not really that guy. He's got his moments. He don't get me wrong, but they are kind of like Kansas City last year. They've won a lot of close games they probably shouldn't have won, right? But let me tell you, they're playing the Chiefs this week. Okay, so the Chiefs haven't been that great lately, but they lost a couple games here and there. They're actually one game behind us, but I'm pretty sure the Chiefs are going to beat the Broncos. And guess what happens? We beat Jacksonville. The Chiefs beat the Broncos. We're number one again, and we're number two in the whole AFC. So things don't look so bad now. One more thing: our chances of making the playoffs, according to these, I don't know who does this, Las Vegas, somebody, the percentages. We went from 60% or something like that up to 87% chance of making the playoffs. We win three more games, we're in, guys. We win three more games, we're in, right? So I'm pretty sure we're going to win. I think we're going to win 4 or 5 more games, to be honest with you. I'm feeling it. Now, how about you guys? Yeah, you feeling it? Are you with me? All right. So I think it's going to be all right. I think we're going to get our running game going. I think we're gonna get our O line just a little bit better. And we're on the verge of something here. Next year, man, everything looks roses to me. God bless you guys. And here we go. Here's what I say. I was watching the replay of the game because I have this thing called DAZN, and I'm able to watch the games. So I was watching the game pretty much pretty much live, and without the commercials, pretty much. And I wasn't hearing my trumpet, man. Let me tell you about my trumpet, guys. My trumpet's important to me. I'm an old Charger fan, 1967, and my favorite thing about it is not bolt up. Is that's all new stuff. That's fine. I'm bolt up. I call Bolt's family. I'm in it. But my favorite thing is da 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 charge. So that's what I got to say about that. God bless you guys. Ta ta for now.